In the news tonight, Jordanians celebrate the 63rd birthday of His Majesty King Abdullah. His Majesty the King directs the government to build a new international football stadium to support the country's sports and youth sector. The Prime Minister stresses the importance of creating conditions for the voluntary and safe return of Syrian refugees. Good evening. Jordanians are celebrating today the 63rd birthday of His Majesty King Abdullah. King Abdullah is widely known for his efforts to strengthen pan-Arab unity, particularly in advocating for the Palestinian cause and aligning Arab positions on key regional issues. At home, His Majesty has focused on driving Jordan's development, implementing modernization plans, and launching projects to improve the lives of citizens. Since ascending the throne in 1999, King Abdullah has worked tirelessly to promote equality, justice, and the rule of law while elevating Jordan's role on the international stage. The occasion is being marked with pride across the kingdom as Jordanians reflect on His Majesty's contributions to the nation's progress and stability. His Majesty King Abdullah has directed the government to build a new international football stadium to support the country's sports and youth sector. His Majesty also directed the government to develop the sports facilities at Al Hussein Youth City, Jordan's first sports city, in addition to continuing to develop other sports facilities in the capital and across the country. The move is part of the King's continued backing for sports and young athletes, recognizing their achievements on the international stage. His Majesty stressed that Jordanian athletes who have proudly represented the nations globally deserve government support, including access to high-quality sports facilities. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Jafar Hassan announced that the government will move swiftly to implement directives of His Majesty King Abdullah to build a new international football stadium. He said the facility will serve as the foundation for a state-of-the-art Olympic sports city. In a post on X, Hassan said the government aims to complete the initial phases of the sports city within 4 years, with further details set to be unveiled in the coming months. Prime Minister Jafar Hassan met with UN High Commissioner for Refugees Filippo Grandi in Amman. Grandi is visiting Jordan as part of a regional tour which includes Syria along with Turkey and Lebanon, which both host Syrian refugees. During the meeting, the Prime Minister stressed the importance of Jordan's partnership with the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, in providing essential services to refugees. He called for continued international and donor support to help host countries and create conditions for the safe and voluntary return of refugees to Syria. Grandi expressed appreciation for Jordan's efforts in hosting Syrian refugees and confirmed that the UNHCR is preparing a comprehensive plan to assist returning refugees and further support host nations. Foreign Minister Ayman al-Safadi also met with UN High Commissioner for Refugees Filippo Grandi to discuss cooperation on the Syrian refugee issue. During the meeting, Safadi highlighted the need to create conditions for the voluntary return of Syrian refugees. The Foreign Minister also met with Filippo Lazzarini, the Commissioner General of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian refugees, UNRWA, and the two discussed the urgent need to sustain a ceasefire in Gaza and ensure the delivery of immediate and sufficient humanitarian aid to the enclave, highlighting the vital role of UNRWA in this context. Palestinian groups in Gaza led by Hamas released 3 Israelis and 5 Thai hostages. The hostages were released in 2 groups, with a 20-year-old Israeli soldier being freed first in northern Gaza's Jabalia area, and later in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza, 2 Israelis along with the 5 Thai nationals were handed over to the Red Cross. Israel, however, delayed the expected release of 110 Palestinian prisoners, including 30 minors and 32 prisoners serving life sentences. Hamas said it was in contact with mediators to compel Israel to release the prisoners. That was the news. Thank you for watching. Good night.